Bulls Nation, today we had a game against the Atlanta Hawks, and once again a repeated game, a game that we've seen all season for the Chicago Bulls has once again reared its ugly head in today's game for the Atlanta Hawks. And unfortunately, once again, this proves a lot of things for the Chicago Bulls, and everything that has been said from the start of the year all the way till now is still here. Presenting itself, it is still here, and it doesn't look like it's going away. And again, with very few games left of the season, our season is pretty much over. So without further ado, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aiden Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Atlanta Hawks game reaction. The Chicago Bulls, through a lot of what's been going on this season, has received inconsistent performances. And once again, this is the main reoccurring theme for the Chicago Bulls that has taken us away once again from a victory that I believe was vital towards our season. And in the end, it's already unlikely. It's already come and gone. Our season is pretty much over at this point in my eyes. And this game, truly 100% in my opinion, makes that true, makes that a pretty much consistent thing, I think, for the majority of people now. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aiden Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall. Were we good today? Were we bad today? In the end, I think you guys all know the answer if you watch the game. Even if you didn't watch the game, I think you guys would pretty much know the answer today. The scoreline for this game was 97-108. In the end, the Chicago Bulls kept things close, kept things very comfortable in way as well in the first and second quarter. Then the awful third quarter happened, and we basically lost by 10 points in the end. So the Chicago Bulls have had very big difficulties in trying to play all four quarters, and this is another thing that once again is rearing its ugly head. And the astonishing thing for me is how poorly we can play in one quarter compared to how good we can play in another. We kept up with the Atlanta Hawks without two of our best players in Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. Two of our better players, two of our best players, two all-stars in our team. We seem to keep up well without both of them. And that in itself is a positive. But that third quarter, only scoring 12 points in a quarter, is an abomination. That is not basketball. That is not. No team should ever seek out in any quarter to score just 12 points. It's one of the worst quarters in the NBA, I believe, that third quarter. And that's exactly what reared its ugly head against us. Once again, we have shown we can be a good team, we can keep up with teams, we can compete with teams. But one quarter away, and we could be getting blown out. And we can end up losing by double digits or close to double digits. In the end, this is an unacceptable performance in my eyes from the Chicago Bulls, with their best players or without their best players. Purely because that third quarter, under any circumstances, should not be accepted. And I don't care which team comes out. I don't care if we see a bunch of G League players come out. It does not matter. That performance in the third quarter is not acceptable. But again, the Chicago Bulls versus the Atlanta Hawks, we've seen this game 3 times now. We've lost all 3. We're not going to verse the Atlanta Hawks for the remainder of the season, but we've seen this game 3 times for the Chicago Bulls. We can't defend the pick and roll. We can't defend their 3-point shooters. We just couldn't defend anything from the Atlanta Hawks today. Trae Young had a terrific game, obviously. And in the end, the Chicago Bulls, outside of one person, no one really had a really good game for the Chicago Bulls. So again, this was an expected result. This was a result of a team that's struggling. This was a result of a team that is clearly lacking players. And this is the result of a team that just simply did not want it enough to go and beat the Atlanta Hawks. Or at least didn't show the fight, in my opinion, in the third quarter that was necessary to go and beat the Atlanta Hawks. In the end, you have to give fair play to the Atlanta Hawks. They've been great all season. They've had their ups and they've had their downs, but for the majority, they are where they are for a reason. And that is something that we just need to accept. They're a better team than the Chicago Bulls, and they play that way. And they have the urgency to win games. They have the urgency to bring the level of intensity up when it matters the most. And the third quarter is the most important quarter in many ways for NBA teams to try and win a game. And that's where they had their best performance, and that's where we had our worst. So once again, This is something that we've seen all season. So I'm not going to scream and shout and get emotional about it, because in the end, I'm not surprised by a performance like this. And I don't think for the rest of the season, surely, because we don't have that many games to go, or eight or so games left, I'm not going to be surprised with our performances, whether we go up all the way up and win a game or whether we go down and lose a game. It doesn't matter, because in the end, I'm not surprised by this team anymore. I'll refuse to be surprised by this team anymore. Again, we could go to individual performers. I'm only going to talk about one player, to be honest, because I don't think anybody else really had a terrific game. Thaddeus Young, 20 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. That is the only player I'm going to mention today. I thought Thaddeus Young was by far and away our best player. And in the end, he had to step up. Again, we didn't have Vucevic, we didn't have Zach LaVine. You'd expect a lot of our players to step up. This was going to be a game where Kobe White had to step up a little bit more. Larry Markkinen had to step up a little bit more. Obviously, there are a few players that had 12 and 13 points. I believe Satoransky had 13 points as well, and I think he stepped up to the plate. But in the end, we did not do enough in terms of stepping up to the game, stepping up for each other, the next man up mentality that we were talking about all season, with the start of the season, and it's going to be happening now, the next man up mentality. They've not stepped up. The next man has not stepped up. So in the end, this is just one of those games, and I don't really want to give any praise to anybody outside of Thaddeus Young. So I guess that leads to the must improve. Look, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I believe this entire team needs to improve. And again, isn't it funny how even when we lost in our last game, I didn't even give a must improve. To this game, everybody must improve. Now, I probably should have given must improve last game, and to be honest, I completely forgot about it. That's why I didn't give it. I forgot about giving a must improve. Well, I'm not forgetting today, because in the end, it's very hard to watch this game and single out every single player. I can't single out one player and just say he must improve. Look at that guy. He clearly did not play up to the level of what was expected. In the end, if I had to pick one individual, I would pick Kobe White, to be honest. But outside of that, the Chicago Bulls in itself, in its entirety, must improve. I understand we don't have two of our best players, so expecting to win this game, let's be real, we didn't expect to win this game with Vucevic in it, to be honest, and we weren't expected to win where Vucevic wasn't playing. But I'm just purely frustrated by that third quarter. That third quarter is what ticks me off more than anything. Not because we lost the game. In the end, I think most people expected us to lose this game. But that third quarter, 12 points in a quarter, is something that I can never ever accept. And that's something that I will never see as acceptable. I don't care if you're Adam Makoka getting his first opportunity in the team with Devin Dotson, or if you're LeBron James or you're Michael Jordan. If you score 12 points in a quarter, that is not seen as acceptable. And that will not be acceptable in my eyes, and is not acceptable in my eyes. So the entire team must improve. And obviously, as I've mentioned before, the player of the game, in my opinion, is Thaddeus Young. I think he had a very good game. In the end, this is one of his better games of the season, and he has been fairly consistent for this team for the majority. There have been some games where he's seen as a bit below average from what he's been providing, but overall, he's been the guy, in my opinion, to really step up to the plate where we needed it most. So again, I can't complain about Thaddeus Young's performance, but once again, we're leading into an area where it's going to be very difficult to find our next win. And if we don't have Vucevic, basically, I have a question to ask you guys as well. If we don't have Vucevic, we don't have Zach LaVine, I don't know what the situation is, but are the Bulls trying to tank now? If you've reached this point of the video, and again, it's not too far from when I started, but if you've reached this point of the video, do you think the Bulls are trying to tank now? This is something that my friend asked me, and I just don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't think we are. I just think we've gotten extremely unlucky. But are the Bulls now seeing that their opportunity is gone, and now they're slowly taking players out to try and lose as many games as possible? Now, I don't want to question the Chicago Bulls for doing that. I don't want to question their morals. Again, every single game, you'd expect the players to go and win. But again, this is something that I just can't get out of my head now, because it seems like any chance that we've had to win, our season is basically done. So what are the Chicago Bulls going to try to do? We're going to try and get as close as possible, or we try and seek out a top 4 pick and keep our pick this year? I don't really know. And again, I'm not going to go and say that it's 100% happening, and I'm not going to say that it's not happening. In the end, I think that integrity of the players should not be questioned. But in the end, when you see third quarters like that, it kind of makes it hard to believe that we're going out there and giving it 100% every game. So, again, I don't really know. The Bulls' record is 26-38, I believe. Again, I don't have the screen up on me at this point in time. So, again, the record doesn't matter anymore in my eyes. We're not making the play-in tournament. I truly believe that. I still think we'll finish 11th if that is any satisfaction to anybody. So I think the Raptors' schedule is just as hard as ours. So I think that what the final 10 is probably how it's going to stay. I don't think anybody's going to enter it, and I don't think anybody's going to leave it. So that's what I think the situation is for the Chicago Bulls at this point in time, and that's what I think the situation is for all those players in the play-in tournament. And again, fair play to all the teams that make the play-in tournament, even if we still have that 1% chance of making it. Whoever makes it deserves to be in there. So fair play to all the teams that have worked really hard and made that play-in tournament. Our next game is against the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, this is the team that just beat the Atlanta Hawks 2 times in a row. So again, obviously, I think Philly is a much better team than the Hawks. No disrespect to any Hawks fans that are watching this. But yeah, this is going to be a very difficult game for the Chicago Bulls. The only positive you could say is, I guess, for the majority, there was a game where they had no Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and they pretty much spanked us. But when they had Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid dropped 50 the first time against us, we were very close. But in the end, this is another game where I just don't see the Chicago Bulls winning this game. And I'm just going to be brutally honest. If we win, great. It might not mean anything in the end, but of course, you always want to see your team win, and hopefully that's something that we want to do and something we'll try to do. But again, this seems like a slim to nothing chance of winning this game. But we shall wait and see. In the end, even good teams can slip up here and there. We have seen that. We've seen that with Boston. We saw that with Miami. We've seen that with good teams. They can slip up and they can take their foot off the gas pedal for one game. And hopefully we can see a win here and there, because I don't want to end this season with so many losses that it just becomes deflating to watch. And we've already seen that a number of times. We've seen 5-game, 6-game losing streaks in a row. I don't want to see that again. So hopefully they can pick up a win against a good team. In the end, it's going to be a struggle and it's not going to be easy. And again, there are players that are going to be coming back. There's going to be players that will play for this team towards the end of the season. Zach LaVine misses. He wants to play. And I don't know if it's the NBA or the Bulls not letting him play, but he wants to play and he's ready to play. It doesn't look like he's playing. Vucevic, obviously, 1-game scenario. Hopefully he'll be back next game as well. We shall wait and see. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Again, I'm making this shorter because I just don't like repeating myself. Again, I have already repeated myself all this video pretty much. I'm sure if you really look hard enough, everything I've said in this video, you will find in multiple other videos. And it's just how it is. This is game reactions at the end of the day. So if, I don't think it's bad to repeat myself. I just don't want to do it anymore. So I'm trying my best to make it shorter so I don't repeat myself every single game. Have a wonderful day. Stay positive, stay healthy. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. I believe Chicago Bulls Weekly should come out tomorrow. So again, it's nearing the dying ends of the season. So it is what it is. And we're going to just ride it out. Make sure that I'm consistent. Make sure I've done every single game in the NBA for the Chicago Bulls. And overall wrap this season up. And I guess that's what we all have to look forward to. Our off-season will be coming shortly as well. And we're going to go back to making those discussion videos, talking about the Bulls, what we need to do, what we don't need to do, things like that. I think those videos are very popular right now, considering everyone wants to know, because our season is basically done for. So those videos will come soon as well. Take care. And